Hi everyone, I'm Hannia. I'm a product manager and I've been a product manager at Google for 4 years. In this talk, I'll give you an overview on what is product management, what makes a good product manager, and what can help you get a role as a product manager at any tech company. So, what is product management? Product manager is the sole advocate for the user, and they have to make sure that the user comes first. Engineers want to build something that's technically beautiful. Marketing wants to build something that sells. The product manager is the only one who thinks, okay, what is actually solving a problem for the user? One of my first projects at Google was working on what we call the popular times graph. So whenever you search a place, sometimes there's a bar graph that tells you how busy that place is on different days. My first project was to launch it. So basically get it out the door, make sure users are seeing it, and make sure it's working correctly and not breaking. That was the first thing, but then we had to think of a lot of improvements on top of it. So what we did was we suggested improvements to show real time right now. Is it busier than usual or less busy than usual? So you should go now versus later. And we also added annotations and I kind of added colors to show the real time information. So basically you launch something and then you also think, how do I make it better? Product managers have to think about is the difference between launching and landing. So we have this analogy at Google that when you launch a rocket ship, you're like, okay, great, the rocket ship is out there. But if it goes into the atmosphere and explodes, then that wasn't exactly a success. So what you should really be looking at is a landing. Only when that rocket ship successfully lands on the moon, then that's a success. So product managers do whatever they have to do to get a product out the door. So a lot of it is sometimes project management, a lot of it is defining the vision of the product. So at Google, we like to say that product managers are the CEOs of their product. They have to think about everything. So there's different parts of the product cycle. The first part is the definition. What are we even building? In that part, product managers need to be the visionary, kind of really driving everyone, getting them really excited. Hey, this is a problem, we need to solve it, we need to launch this feature. The second step is the development, so the actual execution phase. Now we've decided that we want to launch this new feature in 6 months, and their product managers become more of project managers. So you have to prioritize all the different features that we need to build before launch time. We need to make sure that there's time for testing, and you really are focusing on getting down that burn list. Then at launch time, you're kind of more of a coordinator. You're talking to all of the people, trying to get all of the approvals from legal, marketing, business, getting the security and privacy reviews, and doing everything that needs to be done, all the paperwork to make sure that you're ready for launch. And then after the product is launched, you're kind of more of a business analyst. You're seeing how are people using it, you're getting data, and using that data, you're making plans on what else we need to build, what is broken, what needs to be fixed, and focusing on that. To be a good product manager, it's good to be technical. You are kind of the conduit between engineers and the rest of the organization. And so you should be understanding if an engineer says something will take a month, or if they say a certain service is broken down. You should know enough computer science to understand what they're saying and maybe even help them solve the problem a little bit, but also be able to translate to other people. So one skill that you should have is computer science, and I would recommend taking some courses online or getting a certificate course in coding if you haven't already. Second, communication skills are super important for product managers. A good product manager is kind of a glorified router in that you are the central person and a bunch of people are telling you things and you're routing it out to the right person and kind of putting people together and making sure things are getting done. Another important skill for product management is someone who is a self-starter or has an entrepreneur mindset. So how are you able to get things done even though no one is asking you to get them done? So you have to make sure that you independently are creating projects. So a good way to beef up your resume, and advice I give to people, is that work on side projects, work on your own website, build your own app, or just build a blog. Show that you too are a self-starter and you don't wait for other people to give you commands, that you are always working on something. And that leads to the fourth point of someone who has a lot of ideas. So someone who's really excited about technology as a space, someone who loves reading about technology, who loves understanding the new trends. I think that's also a great feature for a product manager to have. So product managers should always be understanding the new technologies that are coming out, the new developments in the space, and excited and aware about them. Another important skill for product managers to have is really a lot of empathy with the end user. So one, if you're a user of your product, that's really awesome. So for example, if you're really into financial planning and you're working on a financial planning app, However, you should also check your biases and make sure that you are also spending time listening to real users. So there's nothing that substitutes you going out into the field or talking to real people who are using your app or your website and understanding how they're using it. And often you build something, but users are using it in a completely different way. And so, really sit down, empathize with the end user, listen to them without any biases or assumptions, and hear what they're telling you. For example, you might have assumed that there's one pain point, but actually there could have been another pain point that's more important to the end user. So now that I've moved to Pakistan and I'm getting to talk to a bunch of startups and tech companies here, I think Pakistan could really benefit from more product management experience. So often companies realize that they need someone working in technology, so someone working on the engineering side and making sure that they're building good code. And a lot of people in Pakistan are really business-minded and really can think through how to build a successful business. But what's often missing in a lot of startups is the product manager person, the person who liaises between engineering and a business. I've seen a lot of times issues come up because engineering kind of speaks a different language and business speaks a different language. So product managers can kind of speak both languages. So I think as startups grow in Pakistan and as tech companies grow in Pakistan, I think having a product manager in these companies will help them be so much more successful. Thanks so much for watching this YouTube video. I hope you found it useful and insightful. If you have any more questions, please leave it in the comments, and please like, comment, and subscribe to the Digital Pakistan channel.